What's up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome to the first episode of Unnecessary Corruption Sports Talk. I'm your host, Kevin, and mainly this video is about fantasy football, but mainly the page will be about fantasy football, but we'll also touch upon other sports and things that are going on in the sports world, but mostly just fantasy football. And I've been playing fantasy football for the past 15 years. I'm 31 years old now, and I've learned through tons and tons and tons of trial and error. And today I'm going to show you my top 10s for all the positions, and my boy Harry's top 10s side by side, so you can get a picture to compare and contrast with. He's also, I consider him my main guy when it comes to it. Knows just as much as I do. I'll be calling him Harry in the video, but on the side it says Pep, so it is what it is. So yeah, we're gonna get right into it. Hopefully there's enough time to talk about everything. I'll try to make everything quick and simple, but you know how it is. All right, so running backs. I have Alvin Kamara number one because I've had him the past 2 years. The Saints offense is just explosive. They have everything going on for it, and they have a pretty good defense to get them the ball back. Basically, Kamara was leading the league in fantasy points last year through the first 4 games when Mark Ingram was suspended. And now with Mark Ingram gone, I feel like he's going to be the new Todd Gurley. Like, he's going to be that guy. So look for Alvin Kamara to be the best player in fantasy next year. That's my prediction. Number 2, I got Saquon Barkley. What scares me about him is that there's no more OBJ to stretch the defense, and Eli Manning's absolute dog shit. He's just a garbage quarterback. So yeah, I think their O-line will be a little bit better too, and Saquon's he's just that guy right now. Put him with the Cowboys or the Saints, and he's easily my number one. But yeah, with all the receptions and everything, number 2. Zeke's just on the Cowboys. They're going to run the ball. They have a great defense. He's a great running back. So, I mean, there's not much to really say about him. Number 3. Christian McCaffrey I have as the dark horse to actually be the number 1 running back in the NFL for fantasy, with all the receptions he has and being the focal point of the Panthers' offense. Yeah, I mean, the guy's an absolute monster. I don't know if you saw a picture of him bulked up, too. He's going to have a career year this year. It's going to be scary. He could actually be number 1, but I got him at number 4. And if you get any of those top 4 running backs, you're pretty much set. That's top tier when it comes to for fantasy football. Any of those 4 guys, you have a good chance of making the playoffs, really. All right, let's get into the next group of guys. Le'Veon Bell. The Jets are known for running the ball all the time. They have Sam Darnold coming in at number 2. Could be looking better. And Bell, 2 years ago, was the best running back in football, and he was for 3 or 4 years running, too. So, I mean, the guy's no slouch. And a lot of people think that he's going to be rusty, but I consider that just fresh legs the whole year off. So, preseason will tell a lot about him. Melvin Gordon. I'm not really high on Melvin Gordon, but everyone's really high on him. He did well last year. Injuries kind of scare me away from him, and I don't know. I have him at number 6, but I'm a little iffy on him. I love Joe Mixon. I almost want Joe Mixon at 6 instead of Melvin Gordon, but I think Joe Mixon was going to kill it. The Bengals aren't that great, but he's going to get all the carries, really. David Johnson comeback year. With Kyler Murray, they could have something special going on. Leonard Fournette, as long as he can stay on the field, doesn't get suspended, doesn't get hurt, the man is an absolute force, and Jacksonville should be good. I mean, they should be, but, it's Jacksonville, so you don't really know. Todd Gurley's funny because we don't really know what his deal is. For any reason, he doesn't go. I got Josh Jacobs there. All right, hopping into wide receivers. I think DeAndre Hopkins is, hands down, number one receiver. About 3 years ago, I predicted he'd be number 1 that year, or maybe it was 2 years ago that season, and he had like the down year or whatever. I think it was the year before last year, or maybe it was 2 years, but 2 years before last year. I forget. Anyways, he's here now. He's the best. Pick him if you can. He's the best receiver. Then I have Julio. Julio's just been the most consistent receiver over the years. I mean, the guy is going to get you all the yards and catches you can get. Touchdowns are iffy, but I think he's over that. And with Calvin Ridley now, Calvin Ridley's not going to get 10 touchdowns again. Julio's going to get some of those touchdowns. I think Julio's going to be in for a career year also. Michael Thomas, probably the most underrated wide receiver in football. I mean, once again, like going to the Alvin Kamara, that offense is explosive, and he's the go-to guy in the air for it. So look for Michael Thomas to have a killer year. OBJ, I love OBJ. I really want him on my team this year. It does scare me with Landry and all the other mouths to feed on that offense, but out of all the mouths, I think he's gonna get the lion's share of everything. I mean, he's OBJ baby, and he's gonna be with Baker Mayfield now, an actual competent quarterback throwing to him. Yeah, it's gonna be good. Number 5, Antonio Brown, which is like scary to see. I mean, this guy has been number 1 for the past 3 years, and now he's dropped to 5 just because of the new area. I mean, I feel like he will be the steal this year in fantasy just because of this. No one's got him ranked that great. You can probably get him in the second round. He's going to be the best second round pick you'll ever have in fantasy football, so grab him there. Devontae Adams, number 6. I mean, a lot of people are more high on Devontae Adams than me. He just doesn't do it for me, but I know the production's there, so number 6, Devontae Adams. Number 7, Mike Evans. Mike Evans had a sneaky great year last year. Look at the stats. I've been high on him since he came in the league. His quarterback is what really scares me, not him. But Mike Evans, number 7. He's a monster. I think he's going to have another killer year. Juju at number 8. Juju's going to be the focal point this year. Juju could go either way right now from last year. He could do better being the focal point, or maybe like he isn't that kind of receiver. We'll find out next year. Maybe he was that great because AB took a lot of the attention away. We'll see next year. It could go either way. Adam Thielen, super, super consistent, just a beast. I got him at number 9. And then at number 10, I have Amari Cooper, which I think a lot of people are a little bit lower than I am on him. But I mean, let's talk about it. He went to Dallas, and he just absolutely ripped it. Him and Dak have something special going on. I think it's going to continue into next year. All right. Top 10 QBs. No-brainer, Patrick Mahomes, number 1. Fun fact, I had him on my team last year, and I traded him away for Tom Brady. I'm not going to say what the actual trade was, but yeah, I don't want to talk about it anymore. It's the first and last time you'll hear that one. Andrew Luck, number 2. I was real high on Andrew Luck last year, and he did well. He really did. I mean, the guy killed it. So Andrew Luck, I mean, the guy's got it all going on. Coming out of college, I thought he was the best quarterback I've ever seen come out of college. So as long as he doesn't get hurt, the guy's going to rock it. Aaron Rodgers, rocket arm. We all know his deal. He's got the receiver. He's got Devontae. I don't know how he really does it. He just kills it. This is where it gets interesting. I have Baker Mayfield, number 4. I'm high on Bakes. All those weapons. I mean, he's basically, when I drafted Mahomes last year, I figured Alex Smith did that with all those weapons. Like, this rocket arm kid's going to kill it. So Baker with this team, he's got the same aspects I have with Mahomes. I'm very, 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 very high on Baker Mayfield next year. Even I think he could win MVP of the league next year. Deshaun Watson, number 5, a little lower than other people, but it's Deshaun Watson. We know what he can do. Runs it, throws it, has the best receiver in football. Russell Wilson, number 6. Every year, Russell Wilson, I feel, falls so much further than I think he will in drafts. And every time somebody steals him the round I'm about to take him, like every time. He's super underrated. I mean, get him. Take him. He's awesome. He's friggin' awesome at fantasy football. Pick the guy. Josh Allen. Josh Allen, I think, is going to be this next year's Pat Mahomes. I think he is the sneaky pick. The guy can run it. The guy can throw it. Not that accurate, but he can get it anywhere on the field. And he's got so many upgrades on offense. I mean, last year he had no receivers. Nobody. Friggin' Fat Benjamin. You know what I'm saying? Now he's got some boys. He's got some consistent, veterans. The guy's he's gonna be all right. I forget. He's got one. John Brown, I think, is on the team, or someone who can go deep. And Beasley for the short and immediate. He's got some boys next year. Trust me. Matt Ryan. I think they're gonna. Last year was the old Super Bowl. I don't know, Super Bowl slump. No, Super Bowl hangover. I think next year he's gonna be back to being who Matt Ryan is. Kyler Murray. Some people love him. Some people don't really care much. I think with David Johnson, I think those two can be with Larry Fitz too. And then they got a lot of rookie receivers and young talent over there. Christian Kirk and all the rookies. I mean, he could have something over there. If they got that old line fixed a little bit, they could have something over there. 10, I got Drew Brees, just because, I mean, that offense I mean, I think it's going to be the best offense in the NFL next year. I really do. All right. Top 10 tight ends. Travis Kelce. With or without Hill playing, Travis Kelce will be a top 3 tight end. I mean, he's gonna go first. He's gonna go the first tight end before all the other ones by a significant amount. Early second round, anywhere between 10 and 15. Take that guy. George Kittle. George Kittle's a guy drafted last year in the original draft, and then dropped him, and then because he had no catches, and then he went off the second game, and then had to use my first overall waiver pick to pick him up, even though I drafted him. Yeah, fun fact. Don't really make any crazy moves after week 1. That's another thing you should always think about. George Kittle, he's no fluke, baby. He's gonna kill it. He's here to play. And Zach Ertz, I mean, those 3 are in a league of their own, really. I mean, Travis Kelce's in a league of his own, and then those 2 are in a league of their own. After that, it's really a crapshoot, truthfully. But yeah, Zach Ertz, Kittle, and Kelce, any of those guys, you're going to have the tight end advantage every week until you face one of them, obviously. Crazy move, too. One year I took Gronk and Jimmy Graham when they were killing the game, and not a bad one. If you want to take, if you can get Kittle or Ertz in the 3rd round, and if you get Kelce in the 2nd, and if you have a flex, not a bad move. Evan Engram as 4. I just like him because he's like a receiver built, and I feel like he's going to get a lot of looks next year with OBJ gone. So I'm really high on him. David Njoku, he was really hot and cold last year, but I think with this high-powered offense now, he's going to get his because this is going to be too much to cover. He's just going to be open. He's a talented guy. Delaney Walker. A lot of people don't really talk about him. The guy is consistent. The guy kills it every year. I mean, give me some Delaney Walker. Never mad about that. O.J. Howard should break out next year. He had a pretty good year last year, but I like to see more from him. Eric Ebron finally decided to play some football late in his career. He wasn't even going to be in my top 10, and then I heard him say something about how he wants to break the record. I said, okay, I can fucks with that. So he shot up to 8. Jared Cook and Hunter Henry, if he doesn't get hurt, I mean, is what it is. Those guys are just guys, but I like them better than the other guys. All right, top 10 defenses. Bears, and more Bears. If you can get the Bears, you're going to have an advantage straight up. I mean, they have such a multi-talented defense. It's ridiculous. I mean, I want to talk the whole time about defense about the Bears, really. If you can get them in the 9th or 10th round, people reach. I don't give a shit, dude. Take them. There's so many. You end up dropping so many guys that you draft late in the rounds. You very seldom hit on the old lottery pick in those things. I mean, it happens. You do get it, but this will be your starting D the whole year. I mean, 9th or 10th round, grab the Bears defense. After that, I got the Jags, and all these other ones you can grab whenever. But the Bears, I would reach on them. Jaguars are a great defense, but they played kind of shit last year. They should have a bounce back with a better offense under Foles and not Stinky Bortles. So I got them at 2. Chargers I had lower, but I kind of moved up because I like Derwin James and just everything they got going on over there. I did have Rams at 3, so those 2 are like interchangeable. Rams, Aaron Donald's going to get you what you need to get. They got all kinds of guys over there. I just can't think of them right now. I really like the Ravens, even though C.J. Mosley's gone. They have guys that are going to step up into those slots. Oh. All right. And you saw the other ones. I'm not going to go over them. The defenses, you saw them. And just like the kickers, I'm not going to talk about the kickers too much. Really, the top 5. You get any of those guys, you're set. Really love Will Lutz. I just go by the offenses, really. Not even really how good the kicker is besides Justin Tucker and Greg Zuerlein. But like I've said earlier, I really think the Saints are going to have the best offense. So I got Lutz. Tucker can just hit it from anywhere on the field. Zuerlein can really boot it, and he has a good offense. And then Butker's got a great offense. Then you got the Pats offense to it, number 5 with Gostkowski, who's also a pretty consistent kicker. And then after that, it's really crapshoot too. But, yeah, I mean, if you can take those guys second to last round is a move I like to pull, so I get my pick of kicker. I'll probably reach on the Bears D. and I'll probably second to last round take Will Lutz just so I